Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today is the favourite video of everyone's to watch for the month, and that is my September completed pages video for 2025. This month was a bit of a funny month. I had a bit of a colouring slump. I started off still recovering from not feeling well, and then I got back into colouring, and then I had about 10 days in the middle where I just wasn't inspired. I kept starting a bunch of pages but not knowing where to go with them, so I created a lot of whips this month. I did a lot of colour by numbers, and for those of you that know me know that if I do a lot of colour by numbers, it's usually because I'm in a bit of a slump, my mood's not the greatest. But in the end I managed to do a lot of pages, and I was super shocked at that. Not just colour by numbers but normal colour pages as well. So I did 49 in total, which that really shocked me at the end. 15 of those were colour by numbers, so 34 were regular coloured pages. 2 of those were double page spreads, so that is a great couple other double pages to add to my collection. Always nice to get a double page spread done. I completed 2 whips. One of them was quite a long-term one, and one I started earlier this year. I did 21 buddy colours, which when I was inputting my stats into kind of year overview, that's the most I've done, I think, ever. 21 individual buddy colours. So that is kind of crazy. And I did 4 group buddy colours. Those did take a bit of a backseat towards the end of the month as I was really trying to push and do a lot of buddy colours. You can see the last 2 days I did 9 pages because I was really wanting to just pump a load out. Some of them were just pencil shading. I'd done an alcohol marker base, and some of them were started and finished on that same day, so really happy to get all of those done. I coloured in 35 different books, including the colour by number ones. I coloured in 10 previously untouched books, which, if you remember my 40 untouched books I'd like to colour in by the end of the year, that was 40 over 4 months, so 10 a month. So I'm on track for that, so really pleased with that. I have 68 untouched books remaining in my collection, which is 25.6%. And for the first time in the last couple of months, that statistic has gone down, which I'm happy about, even though it's gone up by 1 because the number of books I've had has gone up. The untouched percentage shifts. I purchased 12 books this month. I did say I was going to calm down on buying books, and then I didn't. 2 of those were gifted to me, so I'm very thankful to those. And that means I've got 266 books in my collection, and I decided to de-stash 1 book this month. And the total number of pages I've coloured so far in 2025 is 367. So, wow, I'm probably get to close to 500 by the end of the year if I've been doing around almost 50 pages a month. 400 and something probably by the end of the year. That's kind of crazy to think about. As you can see here, I started a lot of whips. There's 11 here. I may have missed 1 or 2. I was going to show the whips in this video, but then when I realised how many books I have to share with you, I thought, nope, you'll see that in the future in my plans video, and I will save sharing it in this one. So let me pop this book planner to the side. Oh, but first, let me get it open on my planner pages so I know what I'm talking about, vaguely. And we will get into the completed pages. So the first book I have to share with you is the Colouring Heaven Presents Summer Edition. This was they did 4 seasonal issues throughout last year, and they've done it again for this year. And when I got them last year, I didn't colour in any of them. So this is actually the first one I've managed to get done from any of them. I started one in the spring and didn't finish it. But I coloured this at the start of the month because I thought I can't let this remain untouched for another year. And it was so quick, fun and easy to colour. Just took me 1 sitting of colouring. I used Ohuhu alcohol markers to base everything, and then shaded over the top with the Prismacolor pencils. Yeah, I love the bright pink and teal and yellow combo that I've used on the page. Super fun, and a nice one to kind of cap off the end of the summer season. So it's great to get one done in the Colouring Heaven Presents Summer, and that page was by Lenka Filanenka. And then I've got the Fantasy Animals Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition by Hannah Carlson, and we've gone from a super bright summery page to a nice autumnal one, as I was starting to get in the autumn seasonal mood here. And this was a buddy colour with my lovely friend Chrissy at Chrissy Wilcox 1103 on Instagram. We did a page earlier this year. We did this Strawberry Bunny. Love how that turned out. We decided to do this one. Was it a randomised book? I think it might have been. Or she just asked if I wanted to do it. Can't remember. But yeah, really enjoyed colouring this. Ohuhu alcohol markers to base everything. Shaded with Prismacolor pencils. Then there's a bit of gold Signo on top. So on this chick's helmet. And I added some stars in the sky. I can't remember if it actually had stars in the sky or not. I know I definitely made this one a shooting star. I just thought that was cute. So yeah, I really like the colour palette for this page. I found I think I searched autumn camping colour palette, and this came up with the kind of orangey brown, mustard yellow, kind of olivey green, dark blue. Yeah, so really like how that turned out. Let me pop mine across and show you Chrissy's here. I love what she did. She gave it that really nice kind of like patchy grass look on the ground, whereas I went mud, and I was a bit sort of disappointed with how it looked to start with, but then once I added the shading it turned out all right in the end. There we go, that is the Fantasy Animals Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition by Hannah Carlson. And then I've got Pop Manga Flights of Fancy Colouring Book by Camilla de Errico. This is my first ever Camilla de Errico book. It was kindly gifted to me, and as soon as I coloured this page, the obsession with Camilla has begun, and I've got 2 more books by her. But I coloured this page on stream with you all. I say I coloured it with you. I did the background with you all, and then I coloured the bee myself off camera because that took like 20 minutes. But yeah, I did this background and another galaxy background with you all on stream, so that was lots of fun. I used watercolour for this page. There's a little bit of warping, but absolutely no bleed through. This paper is lovely and thick. I used Prismacolors for the bee, and then added the splatters are the silver Winsor & Newton ink, and then the stars are the Gansai Tambi starry colours. And I added a kind of thinned down version of it on the lightsaber, so that looks shiny, but you could still see some of the purpley colour coming through, and also on the wings. But yeah, really love how this turned out. I wasn't too happy with the galaxy background when I first finished. I thought it was a bit dark, but then once I coloured everything else, I thought it looked okay. But yeah, I like the kind of pops of purple in there, so it was great to get this book coloured in. It was my first page done in this book, and yeah, really obsessed with this colouring art style now. So that's the Flights of Fancy colouring book by Camilla de Errico. Then I've got the Alien Worlds colouring book by Kirby Rosanes, and for those of you in the colouring community know that September is also known as Spacetember, where we colour lots of space, galaxy, planets, alien, monster themed pages for the month of September. So I wanted to bring this book back out again, as I hadn't coloured in a little while, and I had started this page and I finally finished it. So I started this, I think back in February or March, something like that, and I had coloured all of the little asteroids with Inktense. I decided to I was really unsure what to do with this page, so I jumped over it, started with this one, and then I thought, you know what, the kind of pink, yellow, teal, just use that on the rocks, and it gives this kind of candy look to it. In fact, I did it in this little asteroid belt up there. So I really enjoyed colouring them, and then I came in with a black matte acrylic paint by Apple Barrel for the background. Added some Inktense to the planet here, and for the little moon up there. I was going to do this the tealy colour, but then I realised that this is the big one's the planet and the smaller one's the moon, so I did moon teal, the smaller one there, and then this one green, and added a bit of kind of the bluey grey colour and smoothed that out with the green. And then I added lots of glitter gel pen, matching glitter gel pen colours to the asteroids on the little craters, just to give it lots of sparkle and shine, and lots of white paint pen dots. I tried to kind of cluster them together in little like lines going across, so it looked a bit more natural rather than just crazy all over. But yeah, really pleased with how this turned out, and was great to get this one done, as I've now got a few in a row. And I did start this one. I started this one, I think, whilst watching Amy Waldart's stream. She was colouring in this book, a different page though, and it's just a layer of Inktense. I haven't activated it yet, but I've got a buddy with me that's colouring, and I want to be colouring it with Yolanda on her live streams. Either I've missed one or she's had to cancel them, so haven't quite got around to this one, but I'm hoping to get this finished for October. So that is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanis. Then I've got 50 Zodiac themed miniatures by Camila Angelkova, and this is a kind of group buddy colour or group hashtag that I host on Instagram, where we go through the book in the order of the zodiac signs and colour the page for the month. And then we are also doing the chibi Chinese animal signs, and then we'll swap over the next year. So the page for September was Virgo, and I've been using these colour palettes that I found online and created this document. And Virgo's is this very cool kind of muted neutral tone palette, very different to all of the others, and I loved colouring it. It's got this very like vintage photo look about it, kind of looks like it's in grayscale almost, with just like the little pops of pink there. But I used the alcohol markers to colour this page, the silver Pentel Jewel Hybrid metallic gel pen for the stars, and then for the border, because I had absolutely no colour gel pen that would match this, I did the Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen over the top. Don't know how well it's picking up because it's quite a light colour, but yeah, I just based it with the alcohol marker and went over the top. So that one turned out really cute. The next one will be Libra next month. And then I had to catch up with the chibi Chinese animals. So this was actually August's page, the chibi dragon. And I used the Ohu alcohol markers again, as you can see. And for her skin, I used the Crayola Colours of the World and went super careful to try and reduce the streaks as much as possible, which I think I managed to do. I think I did 2 layers of it because I wanted her to have a dark skin tone, but I didn't have any alcohol markers that would be suitable for it, that was still kind of like, it's a darker skin tone, but it's still pale and fits the pastel vibe of the page. So I was struggling with that. I've now got more browns that I can pick from. I've just got the 36 set of alcohol markers, the skin tone ones. So I'll be able to, I would have been able to colour it now, but at the time I didn't have an option. And yeah, I think she turned out really cute. This kind of purple and muted yellow colour scheme, just a little pop of green down there. Again, it didn't have a good glitter gel pen, so just used the Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen for the border and the text here. And then this month was meant to be Snake, but I just went in a colouring slump, then ran out of time to come back to this, so I will for sure be catching up with this next month, and then hopefully also do the horse as well. I do have a colour scheme in mind for the chibi snake. I want to go greens and yellows because I think that would be fun. So that's the 50 Zodiac themed miniatures by Camila Angelkova. Then I've got Escape to Wonderland by Good Wives and Warriors, and this book was kindly gifted to me by Nikki Jane over on Instagram, and because of that we decided to organise a buddy colour together. We did this Cheshire Cat page. I think I started this at the end of August actually, or maybe it was right at the start of September, I can't remember, but I had a lot of fun picking out the fun colour palette for this page. Went for pinks and purples for the Cheshire Cat, like in the Disney movie, and then just picked out some fun bright colours for the flowers and went for orange, blue, purple, pink and yellow, with kind of the focus being on the orange and yellow flowers and nice bright greens for the leaves. You can just go crazy with colours with this because of the nature of the book, it being set in Wonderland. Yeah, I really enjoyed colouring this. I used Polychromos pencils for the entire page and just a bit of white paint pen highlights. I will pop Nikki's page on top of the screen here. We actually ended up going for pretty similar colour schemes. It wasn't intentional, but loved colouring this with you and sharing updates as well. It was a lot of fun to get this double page spread coloured in this lovely book, Escape to Wonderland by Good Wives and Warriors. Then moving on, we've got a few Matchstick Mouse books in a row here. I had a bit of a Matchstick Mouse kick at this point in the month. This is Matchstick Mouse A Big Adventure colouring book by Morgan O'Brien, and this is a project book with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours, Amy from Colouring with Amy, Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring, and Emma from Emma Colouring 85. Jo from Geordie Colours was with us, but she has decided to leave the group just so she can focus on some other colouring commitments. So it was lovely having her join us when she did. And the page for this month was this Parrot Ride page, and oh, this was so fun. I'd been looking forward to colouring this page for ages, and I knew as soon as I saw it I wanted to give it that classic red, yellow, blue macaw look. Although when I was looking at reference pictures I was tempted to change my mind and go for blue and yellow, but I was like, nope, stick with my gut. I very rarely use reds in my pages, so it's nice to see that kind of pop of colour in the centre there. I used Ohuhu alcohol markers to base the page, Prismacolors to shade over top, and for the background I wanted to create this kind of sunrise look, and I found that if you base it with a pale yellow you can then shade over with a bit of blue at the top, and it gives it this nice kind of gradient look without the colours getting muddied together, because if you blended alcohol markers, the blue and the yellow together, it would give you a green patch in the sky. So this gives you a nice blend. You can blend in with the white to get that gap in between the two colours. So yeah, absolutely loved colouring this one. Don't think everyone is quite finished yet, but I will show you everyone's pages that they coloured on this side. Everyone did such an amazing job. Such a fun book this, and we're getting ever so slightly closer to completing it. And I will show you the page that was picked for next month, and it is this one of this kind of river adventure, and it is the same as the cover, and I love the colours on the cover with the kind of greeny yellowy water. I kind of want to do a kind of greeny watercolour here. I think that will look cool. So looking forward to that one in Matchstick Mouse Big Adventure colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Then I have the Rainy Day Matchstick Mouse book, and this is part of a seasonal Matchstick Mouse group buddy colour that Zoe and I started. There's a whole bunch of people in there, so I don't have them written down unfortunately, but anyone's pages I do include, I will pop their names underneath. And the page we did for September was this blackberry picking page, and this is definitely my favourite page in the book. I loved colouring this. I love the pop of yellow on her rain jacket. I love the colour of the blackberries and colouring the rain. Based with alcohol markers and shaded with Prismacolor pencils again. And then I added a bit of clear glaze pen because I was able to get some new clear glaze pens from Hunky Dory Crafts here in the UK. I did that on the blackberries, on the water drops on the leaves, which I really enjoy how those turned out, and on little cat beetle down there. So yeah, nice and shiny. I did find the glaze pens changed the colour of my blackberries slightly. As you can see, they're a lot more kind of a bluish toned purple, whereas they came out more reddish toned. That's fine, it's all good. It still looks like blackberries. Let me show you everyone who coloured this page here. So many gorgeous renditions of this page with a whole variety of different coat colours. Some did orange, yellow. I think it was mainly just orange and yellow actually from my memory. That was a lot of fun, and thank you to everyone who coloured this page with me. From Matchstick Mouse Rainy Day by Morgan O'Brien. Then the final one I have to share is Matchstick Mouse Autumn, and I haven't coloured in this book for ages. The 21st of October or November, 21st of November, 16th of November that one was. I think was the last time I coloured in this book. So it was a big shame and I definitely neglected it. Oh no, found a later one. The 25th of November 2022, so over almost 2 years since I'd last coloured in it. And I coloured this one. And when I got this book, I had a very limited range of pencils. Creative Peaks were the brand that I was using, and they look almost identical to Castle Art pencils. So I decided, let's continue using them and see how my colouring style has changed. So that's this year, and that was 2 years ago. So definitely a kind of richer layer of colour, less of the kind of pencil streaks, and a bit more blending. I decided for the leaves to go kind of a bit funky with them, have them look like they're changing from green to orangey yellow. And I've been enjoying doing that a lot recently with my leaves, adding a bit of green into the colour of the autumnal leaves. And yeah, it was fun just picking a bunch of autumnal colours and going to town with this page. Matching orange hat for Matchstick Mouse. So yeah, love how this turned out. Just simple, pencil only page. Let me move mine across and show you everyone's here. Lots of people did this page. And I love all of the beautiful autumnal colours with leaves. I love this colouring season for all the fun leaf colours. So that was that one that we did for September in Matchstick Mouse Autumn Colouring Book by Morgan O'Brien. Next I've got Sargon, and this is my full book colour along for my members here on YouTube. And this month's page was the second half of the Legend of Storstrudrut. It's so hard to pronounce. But yeah, I did this half of the page and oh, I loved colouring it. I used Albrecht Dürers to do, I did them activated for the water, for the mountains and for the sky and sun. And then I did them dry for the trees and the eagle and the boat with the girl on it. I added a bit of the Language gel pens to go over the lines of the sunray here. And lots of white paint pen to sort of go for the reflections on the water. Yeah, I really like the kind of glowy effect that I've got on this page. You really get that vibe that the sun... For mine, I decided to make it a sunrise rather than a sunset, which usually when the sun is there in the sky, for me, I colour it kind of orangey yellow sunset look, whereas I wanted a sunrise, so a bit of blue sky at the top there. Yeah, I really love the colours of this, and it's great getting another page done in this book. The poll is live, and I think the winner is this Sleeping Beauty double page spread. So I will be looking to get this started soon. I've already got a kind of colour scheme in my head, and I think I might use Prismacolors again for this one because I have an idea for the specific pinks that they've got in that set to use on that page. So that was Sargon by Maria Troll. Then I have A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo, and this was a buddy colour with Lisa at My Colouring Nook. We did a buddy colour the month before in Lulu's House of Wonder. I believe that was her first Lulu book, and then she bought a few more and asked if I wanted to join her in colouring a page in them. I said of course. And in this book specifically, I had a page which I had started basically as soon as I finished this one, or as I was colouring this one. I just based the deer with Tombow dual brush pens, and I had a sheet of paper that had all my colour combos for everything else all recorded down. So I just finished this off, and it was so quick and simple. Great to finally have the two pages next to each other finally finished. And this page was perfect because it went for my Lulu May scavenger hunt prompt of deer, as you can see the deer in this page. And yeah, managed to match the pages quite nicely. The only thing I'm a bit annoyed about is the streakiness at the background here. I managed to get it much smoother here because there was lots of little gaps, whereas this one was a larger section. So to try and mask it, I put some white paint pen dots. I don't know if they're picking up in the camera. I just did some white dots to kind of distract your attention from the slight lines on the paper, but That's fine, we move on. But let me move mine to the side and show you Lisa's gorgeous page here. I love the pink, yellow, blue colour scheme she went for. She went really pastel, just absolutely stunning, completely different from mine. She really went in for those fantastical colours for the deers. Yeah, just looked amazing. I forgot to say I used Tombows to base everything and then the Prismacolor pencils to shade on top. So yeah, that was over a year in between these two pages, as that was March 2024, September 2025. So great to get that long-term whip finished from A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo. Then I've got Tales from the Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Carlson, and this was a previously untouched book for me as well. And again, it was another book that was kindly gifted to me, so thank you again to my gifter. And I coloured this page on stream with you all. I did all of the pencil colouring with Prismacolor pencils and did that on stream with you all. I think I did a second layer off camera, and then I did the black acrylic paint background because I thought it would make everything really pop. I really love how the vase turned out and the blackberries and the leaves. The flowers, I just don't know what it is, but I don't like the colour I used. They're just a bit too bright, and I tried toning them down. I started off with a yellow centre, hated how that looked, and so I changed it to a darker purple. Not a big fan of how that looked either, but I just kept going, and it's like I like it, but I don't love it. I know it could have turned out a little bit better. And I know I've got a piece of paper that has my colour combos written down for this page, so I can bring the colours across. Don't know where it's gone though. If not, I can look back on the video, because on the live stream footage, because in the description I record down all the pencils I used. And then the last finishing touch was a bit of the gold starry colours Gansai Tambi metallic paint in the background, lots of gold dots and some details on the vase here. So yeah, I kind of like how it turned out, but think it could have turned out better. And now I'm looking at it, I realised I missed out some white paint pen highlights on this blackberry in the centre now. And now it's sticking out like a sore thumb to me. So I'll just put that pen in there so I remember to do it after the video. That is Tales from the Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Carlson. Then I have Fragile World by Kirby Rosanis, and this was a buddy colour with Shakira at Shakira's Colouring Corner. She reached out to me about a buddy colour in this book, and I've become newly obsessed with this book. I'm just really enjoying colouring it at the moment. And this was the page I coloured, this lovely koala page. I used Albert Durer's activated for the koalas and to base the tree trunks, and then shaded over the top with Polychromos pencils. The leaves are all Polychromos pencils, and the background was Neocolor 2s. This was one of the first pages I'd coloured using Neocolor 2s, and I'm officially in love with them. I've had 3 blue Neocolor 2s for ages and never even swatched them, and I think if I had swatched them I would have probably ended up using them. But I felt afraid, and then decided to actually give them a go. Bought some open stock, and oh, they apply so smoothly, and they're much easier to work with than Inktense in my opinion. Yeah, love the results of that, and love how the koalas turned out. They are absolutely adorable. I don't have Shakira's page yet, but if I do get it by the time I upload this video, I will show it here. I am sure she will do an amazing job with this page. But yeah, it was great to get another page done in Kirby's Fragile World. It's quickly turning into one of my favourite Kirby books. Wasn't so high on my ranking rate, it was kind of in the middle, but now I think it would be quite high. So I coloured that one, and the month before that I did the frogs, which I absolutely love. So that's Fragile World by Kirby Rosanis. Then I have Fuzzy Meowvies 2 by Mojidu, and I love this series of books. In fact, I love the artist Mojidu. They have quite a active presence on Instagram, so if you haven't heard of them, check them out. They've got movie themed ones, they've now got a game theme, they've got fuzzy catapieces, so like art themed ones. Really interested in that one. And then they've got some spooky ones, like a sister company they have. And I decided to colour Cinderella for the Cute Comfy Cozy Facebook group that I'm part of on Facebook, but I never post. I never post in there, but I'm a lurker in that group, pretty much. I look at the posts and I like to participate where I can, and I colour the pages and share them here rather than on Facebook. But this is a group run by, well, it's created by Zoe at Zoe's Cozy Colouring, and Jana at Colouring Create with Jana helps run it alongside her. And they have A to Z of cozy fairy tales, and for September it was C for Cinderella, so I did this page. It was so fun, just used alcohol markers for the whole thing. I really had fun giving this kind of glittery-ish effect, very simple. Just added some little dots with the alcohol marker and then white paint pen around the edges, just to give it kind of almost like a transparency look, and I did the same on the glass slipper. It just turned out quite nice and effective. So I love how this turned out, and it's great to get another page done in here. I'd only done the one before, this How to Train Your Dragon themed page. But it's got lots of Disney themed ones in here, so it will be good to pick up when the fairy tales come around in that A to Z fairy tales theme. I wanted to get a Beauty and the Beast one done because that was B for Beauty and the Beast, so I've got that to catch up on still. So that's Fuzzy Meowvies 2 by Mojidoo. Then I've got 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. I've been following along with Melissa at Winter 89 Colours for Project Mythical Minis. Although this month I was not feeling particularly inspired by the pages. Don't know why. I mean, I was struggling a lot with inspiration, but I only managed to get 2 of the 4 done this month, which was unusual for me. I've been pretty on track the last few months, but I did Simurgh, or Simur, and it's this kind of wolf guy. And I found a reference photo online because I had no idea how to colour this with the feathers. And I found this reference photo online that had this primary colour scheme with the red, blue and yellow. So I decided to use that and go with it. And the wolf itself was quite neutral in tone. And then I brought in the reds and yellows in the flowers down here. I don't know what it is about this page. Can't quite put my finger on it. But I'm not a big fan. It's not one of my favourites. But I'm glad it's done. I don't hate it. There are some pages I've done in here which I do hate. But it's just not my biggest favourite. I like how I've done the outlines on the feathers and around down here with a gold, super golden marker. His nose has black glaze on, and so do the talons on his claws. So it's a nice shiny page. Always fun to have some glitter and shine. I decided to go gold for the moon, considering I'd used gold over here, just going over the dots and the outline of the moon with the gold, super golden. Maybe that's what's throwing me off a little bit. But that was the first page I did, and then I also did the, here's the front, the troll. And I love how this one turned out. I knew when I saw it I wanted to go for a blue troll because I'd done lots of green creatures like the goblin and the cyclops, and each time I coloured these I was like, I want to do it blue so it's something different. I want to do that blue so it's something different. And then I ended up going for green. So for this one I started with the blue, and it does look like a little troll doll. It looks really cute. And then I wasn't sure what colour to give his clothes, so I coloured everything else first. I made the mushrooms blue to match with his hair, did some green ferns around the side, and thought, let's just bring brown and green from the elements on the page for his outfit, and that will do. And then I did a super golden marker background, as well as some on the elements down on the tree trunk, tree stump. And I decided to do this super golden marker background because I felt like it needed a background, but I didn't know what colour to do. I didn't want it to be blue, and I didn't really want to bring in any other colours. I didn't want green, so I thought, let's go for something shiny, because I had done a copper background for this Minotaur, and I love how it turned out. It was so fun. And so I went for this nice neutral bronzy colour. Yeah, it just gives it that perfect little special touch to the page. So yeah, I've got 2 pages I need to catch up on, the Griffin and the Cockatrice. along with the 4 other pages that I also have to catch up on, but that's fine. Still on track to finish it by the end of the year. I had some leeway because at the moment, before this month, I had to do 4 pages a month until December, where it was only 2, whereas now that I'm 2 behind, it's now 4 pages a month. So that's easily done. So that's 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. Next, I've got the Enchanted Animals Special by Kanoko Igusa. And this was a lovely gift from my friend Catherine at Cath Colours Pages. And I finally coloured my first page on stream this month. And it was this. I wasn't sure what to call this, so I just called it the Squirrel and Fairy page. But I coloured this all on stream, over 2 streams. I based it with alcohol markers. And you can see by the colour palettes I have picked out here that I was inspired by these colours but didn't necessarily follow a specific colour palette. I knew I wanted to include some sort of like muted pink and then some autumnal colours and browns and a bit of green for the leaves. So I had those 4 that I was inspired by but didn't necessarily follow. So I based it all with alcohol markers, and then I just shaded with pencil for this central circle because I thought this looks like a nice wallpaper, like it's like a picture frame on a wall almost. So I wanted this to not draw your attention away from the central image. So it's just a flat layer of colour with the alcohol markers, whereas this has all the pencil shading. And I really love how it turned out. It came together really nicely. Often when I base something with alcohol markers, I think, oh god, that looks awful. The colours look weird. They don't look good. It just looks boring. And then you shade and it all comes together. It always comes together. So just trust the process. If you don't like how the base looks, just add some definition with shading and it all turns out all right in the end. And then I added a bit of gold signo. This was off stream because you didn't need to see me up close doing all these lines, just to outline the wallpaper and around the frame for the central image. So yeah, I love how this one turned out, and it was great to finally get my first page done in here. There's lots of lovely exclusive images in this book. I have gone through and marked which ones are in Leon's journey and which ones aren't. So that's the Enchanted Animals Special by Kanoko Igusa. Next up, I've got A Million Little Monsters, and this is by Lulu Mayo, and I coloured in this book for the prompt of Monster for my Lulu Mayo scavenger hunt. I thought it would give us a good opportunity to get into this book before the spooky season, as for the last 2 years I've coloured 1 page in this book a year for October and haven't touched it since. So I did this page as a buddy colour with Adela at Winter Spark Creative. And I picked out some fun colour palettes and ended up going for this one. I really loved the colours and thought it would fit nicely with these monsters. So I based it with Tombow Gel brush pens. It turned out a little bit streaky on the dragon, but the rest of it turned out okay. For some reason the purples just didn't lay down well here, but all the other colours were alright. Based it with them, and then I shaded over the top with the Artex pencils, and then to finish the page off I used 5 matching colours to match the colour palette of glitter gel pens for all of the stars and dots in the background, and I love that detail. I also used the silvery colour in the Gansai Tambi metallic watercolour and a gold gel pen to do some outlining and for more dots in the background. Yeah, I love how it turned out. It was really, really fun. I was a bit kind of skeptical again once I'd done the base layer of markers. I thought, it's looking a bit funky. Trust the process, add some shading, and it all turns out fine. But let me show you Adela's here. She used a super pretty pastel colour scheme, and I loved all of the different colours she used in the background. Yeah, really, really loved colouring this with you, Adela, and I do want to get another page done in this book for October. I've got my colours saved here that I can bring across to this page. Don't know if I necessarily feel inspired to do that right now, but for the future. But yeah, I'd like to do something else that fits my prompts for October, because there's several pages in here that would go for it. I love that one. But yeah, that's A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. Then I've got Capybara Cuties by Rob Parkinson. This is part of the Cutie Colouring series by Scholastic and was the first one from the series that I purchased myself. And I saw that Amanda at ALLJ Art, I always struggle to say those letters together. She has an Instagram and YouTube channel that she's just kind of come back into YouTube and creating colouring content, so definitely check her out. I saw that she had just got this book and I reached out for a buddy colour, and oh my gosh, I loved colouring this. I loved it so much. I just used Ohuhu alcohol markers with a simple bit of shading. They blend together really nicely on this paper, and yeah, I just absolutely adored colouring this. I used a similar colour scheme to that camping page I did at the start of the month in the Pocket Fantasy Animals Pocket. But yeah, use them on here and added some gold signo around the outlines of the stars and the moon, just for a bit of sparkle, or not sparkle, shine. And I loved colouring this so much that I asked Amanda if she wanted to make this a project book, and she was like, let's do it. So we're gonna try and get a page of colours in here a month. But let me show you Amanda's page here. She used pencils for her page, so hers is really nicely shaded, and I know she had a lot of fun colouring this too. Yeah, the page we are doing, no, it's not that one, it's the wizard themed one. She's already started it. This one, I love it so much, and I've already got a colour scheme in mind, so this was so quick and easy to colour. Like, the hardest part is picking your colours. Once you've got those picked out, it's just boom, 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 done. At least that's what it was for me. And I didn't write down the colour combos for the capybaras because I don't want to use the same ones throughout the whole book, because then I'd run out of those marker colours. So I think I'm going to change them up each page. Just have them fit the mood of the page. Like this one was an orangey tone brown for this kind of autumnal look. Maybe I go for a more neutral tone brown for this next one. We can see. But yeah, looking forward to getting another one done. And thank you so much to Amanda for buddy colouring with me in Capybara Cuties. That was my first page coloured in this book. Next I've got Kawaii Taro by Lulu Mayo, and this was a buddy colour with Kimberlyn. She is on Instagram at B312colours. I asked if anyone would like to do a buddy colour with me for the prompt vegetable, and I picked out this one, and there was another one, this one, Knight of Coins, as a potential, as they both had carrots in them. And she said, would I like to do this one? I said absolutely. I was really unsure about colours for this page and asked ChatGPT, as I often do, just take a picture, say generate a coloured version of this page for me. Hated how it looked. It looked really kind of garish, had reds, orange and yellow. It was very kind of bright and vivid. And I was like, I like the yellow, I'll keep the yellow, keep the orange for the carrot, bring that across, and then change the red to pink, and it turned out really cute. I used Artex pencils for this page, as I find they work pretty okay in this book. It is a little bit challenging. It's very thin paper, very bad quality paper in this book. But I make do because the images are so cute. You can see I've got page flags littered throughout the book because I've got lots of plans to colour in this for the rest of the year and also for 2026. Yeah, I used that, and then I added the Gansai Tambi gold paint to the border, as I always do for these pages, and some glitter gel pen on the garland up here and for the stars in the background. Yeah, really simple page because the background was already black for you, so didn't take long to colour at all. Let me move mine and show you Kimberlyn's here. I love how hers turned out. She also used lots of pinks but added a bit of blue, and I really like the blue colour that she used. So thank you to Kimberlyn for colouring with me in this book. I did start another page, but I was prioritising buddy colours, so I didn't quite get strength finished. But I've only got the green, pale green leaves left to do the background. and then the finishing touches. So that will be coloured over the next couple of days. So that's Kwai Taro by Lulu Mayo. Next I've got the Forest Girls colouring book. This is by Apol, and I've had this book in my collection for so long, and I've just been very intimidated by it. The pages are absolutely stunning. You've got a little coloured version on the left and the page for you to colour on the right. And I just discovered Paulina at Paulina Art Stuff's YouTube channel, I think in August, and she had quite a few of Apol's books, so I reached out to do a buddy colour, and we've been talking a lot this last month, and we did this page together. I can't remember if that's exactly what it translated to, but I called it Relaxing with Rudolph, as that's the name of the dog here. The paper was quite challenging to colour on. I was using Polychromos pencils and Black Widows for a lot of the leaves, the green colours there, as they have, Black Widows have some really interesting coloured greens. But yeah, the dog, the girl and the pink bits were all Polychromos. Really loved colouring the dog and girl, the leaves were fun, and then I had the rug left to do. And you can see on this image that there's a pattern on the rug, and none of that is drawn in for you. They just included a few lines, just those stripes really, just pale lines, would make it so much easier. And like I simplified the dress pattern a lot as well. But I love the rosy cheeks on this dog. He turned out really cute. And it was great to finally get one done. I added lots of gold Signo gel pen stars in the background for a bit of magical shine. There were a few stars and dots about the place, and I just added more. I decided against doing a background. I decided, one, I couldn't be bothered, and two, I liked how it looked against the white, giving it that very soft look. But let me move mine across and show you Paulina's here. She decided to go for the background, and it really kind of gives it that autumnal vibe with the nice warm brown colour in the background. So she did an amazing job. And thank you so much to her for getting me finally started in this book. I feel a lot less overwhelmed now to colour some more pages in here. So looking forward to diving into this book a little bit more. The Forest Girls colouring book by Apol. Now I'm moving on to a bunch of my project books, or three more of my project books. I've shown you one and I've started a new one as well. I'm rambling. This is Lost and Found by R.J. Hampson, and this is a project book with Dana at Dabbler D. We are really getting close to finishing. I mean, not really. We've still got, I don't know, 10 or so pages left. But this month I was doing as a catch-up month because this page was picked for September of last year, and I just was not feeling it, didn't want to do it. Still, this year, still didn't really want to do it. It's not a page that I like at all, but I did it, and I'm glad I did it. And once I broke it down into sections, it really wasn't that hard. I decided to make all of these metal gear pipes and things silver colour combo, coloured that in. Great. Then coloured the purple for the smoke / clouds. And then there was really only a few little bits left to do, and I thought, let's carry on with this kind of pastel scheme I've got going on with the clouds. I was really liking how that was turning out, so went for pink and green, as well as some more purple to complement the page. And for this book, I've just been using Polychromos and embracing the pencil texture and not letting it bother me. And then I often add the Signo gel pens as an accent, so I use the silver one for this page. For the stars in the background, often RJ will put dots for stars, and I just go over them with the gel pens to really kind of make them shine. So I did that one, and there was another one I needed to catch up with, and it was this one, Time After Time, this fun hourglass page. Oh, I didn't show you. I need to move mine across and show you Dana's here, that she coloured 1 whole year ago. She did an amazing job. Also went for that kind of pastel colour scheme, which was fun. But yeah, Time After Time was kind of a bonus page that Dana decided to do as extra in August, and I just didn't get around to colouring it. But this was another pretty straightforward one, because I decided I wanted to have the outside of the hourglass have this wood texture look to it. And once that was coloured, there really wasn't many elements left. You had the boat, the water, the trees, the mountain, and you're done. So this took only probably a couple of hours, again using polychromos, and this time I used a gold signo for the background, not the background, the stars in the background, as well as the key here. There is a key hidden in every page in this book, so that was fun. I haven't seen Dana's yet, but I know she's done it, so I'll move mine across and show you Dana's here. There was some nice subtle changes in this one. She had a bit more going on in the background with the numbers down at the bottom. So great to get another one done in here. And then she picked the next one, and it is nearer the back. I think I flipped past it. No, I haven't. Have I? Yes, I have. Don't know why are the pages you want to find so hard? We are doing this one, Destiny, and I do love this page. No idea what colour scheme to go for quite yet, but it'd be great to get that one done. So that is RJ Hampson's Lost and Found. Then I have the Colouring Heaven Pocket Fairy Tales by Selina Fenwick, and this is a project book with Lil at Colouring with Lil and Kathy at Colour V94. None of us had finished last month's page, so I did the 3 Billy Goats Gruff at the start of the month, and I was inspired by a picture I found online of the brown, kind of dark grey, black and white goat, and I thought that was really cute, so I kind of copied those colours across, based with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with the Prismacolor pencils for that page. I will move mine across and show you Lil's here. Kathy has the Amazon print version of this book and not the Colouring Heaven pocket version, so she doesn't have any of the new and exclusive pages, so she didn't have this one. But I think we've only got about 4 left of these new and exclusive ones in the book. So that was the page for August. And then for September, we did Jack and the Beanstalk. And I think after I shaded that one, I based this one and then I shaded it towards the end of the month. I seem to do that a lot with this book. Like I'll base it at the start of the month and then shade it towards the end of the month. But I wasn't quite sure what colours to give Jack. So again, I looked up a picture, saw this kind of orangey brown colour for his jacket, green trousers, and went, yeah, that'll do. But yeah, he turned out pretty cute. Nice golden goose there. Nice bright looking leaves for the beanstalk. Again, I will move mine across and show you. I think only Lil has got hers done so far. Kathy didn't quite get hers finished as of recording this video. But yeah, loved colouring that page, and great to get now 2 more closer to finishing. And the page for next month is this one of Baba Yaga. Perfect for the autumn, for the month of October, the spooky season. So that will be lots of fun to colour. That is the Pocket Fairy Tales by Selina Fenwick. And then the last project book I have to share with you is 50 Woodland Miniatures by Kamila Angelkova. And this is a project book with a bunch of ladies. It's with Mindy at Colouring with Cats Among Orchids, Jan at Aloha Lady, Lil at Colouring with Lil, Adela at Winter Spark Creative, and Melissa at Hazy Hues Colouring. It was my turn to pick for September, and I went for this tree page with the owls. I was the last person to get this one done, and kept seeing the pages come in, and I was like, I have no idea what I want to do with this. And I decided, don't overthink it, just colour it. So I started with the tree, coloured the tree. Then I was like, okay, let's go for nice orangey colour for the leaves. And I was like, let's go for a reddish brown for the mushrooms, for something a little bit different. And then I thought, let's bring that for the owls. And it came together very nice and quickly. Just used alcohol markers for the entire thing. Nothing special on top. I did think about doing some glaze pen for their eyes, but I thought, no, I like how just flat and simple this page is. Let me move mine to the side and show you everyone's here. Everyone did such an amazing job. It's always fun, this book that seems to have a lot of different ways that people colour the book. So it's always exciting to see that. And the next page we're doing is of, I wasn't sure what animal it was, so I did a search with a Google photo search, and I believe it's a wildcat. Could be wrong though, but I like all the berries in the background. I think I'm going to do them like red currants. I think that will look cute. So looking forward to getting that one done for October in 50 Woodland Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cova. Then I have Walden Nature by Rayhan Udechi, otherwise known as Raider Prince online. And this was a buddy colour with Mika at Mikashi Colours. And we did this cabin in the forest page. And as soon as I saw this, I knew I wanted the roof or something of the cabin to be purple. So that's kind of where I started. And I used Inktense for the entirety of this page. Didn't go with any shading with pencils, just let the Inktense work its magic. And with all the shading that Raider puts into the page, like you can see that she adds quite a lot of lines and shading. Just made for a really simple, easy colouring process. For the background, I wanted to have that kind of galaxy-esque look to it and kind of fading out. So I channeled my inner Erica at Elm Colours and did this kind of dotted, dappled, kind of fading it to the background look, and it was really fun and easy. I thought it would be hard, but you just get the paintbrush, I've got one here, and as you're activating, just dot it randomly and just let it flow like that. And then I finished off the page with the silver Pentel Dual Hybrid metallic gel pen, as I find that is the only silver glitter gel pen I have that actually is glittery. Most of them are just metallic. And then I added a bit of clear glaze on the windows here, so they're nice and shiny too. But let me move mine across and show you Mika's here. She did a beautiful job with her page, and it was great fun to colour a page in this book with you. And thank you for getting me started in this book. It's my very first page in this book. It is absolutely stunning. And it's got me excited to colour more. I'm thinking, do I make this just an Inktense only book as a fun challenge? Maybe, maybe not. I'll see how I feel for the next page I have planned to colour, which I do have another one, this deer page planned for next month. So that is Walden Nature by Rayhan Udechi. Then my focus artist for the month of September was RJ Hampson. I managed to get 2, 3 if you include my project book, which yes, that's still an RJ Hampson book. Managed to get 3 done, and I've got one started and I'm hoping to finish that tonight on stream. First up, I've got Forest Song, and this was a buddy colour with Catherine at Cath Colours Pages, and we did Fall. I love this page in the book, it's so cute. And this was another one of those pages where I based it with alcohol markers and went, I don't like how it's looking really. It was looking really boring. I didn't really like the colours I'd chosen. They weren't looking cohesive. Then I shaded with pencils. I used Prismacolors and it all came together. I really had fun giving the leaves this kind of faded orangey brown look. I had these ones at the top being more orangey and these ones being less orangey. It just came together really nicely with the pencil work. I added the clear glaze pen to the blackberries because I like adding the clear glaze pen to berries and making them shiny, and then I love the texture of them. love feeling that. And I did black glaze on the ladybird spots, so I thought that was fun as well. But let me show you Catherine's here. I love the gold splatter she's done in the background. In fact, I was thinking about doing something similar, but then I got scared. I've got this Glimmer Mist by Prism, and I thought I could spray that and have that in the background, and then I was like, I'm not sure, maybe I'll still do it. Who knows. But that is RJ Hampson Forest Song, and that was my first page coloured in this book. And then I also did one in Night Garden, and this was another untouched book by RJ. And I did this page as a buddy colour with Joe at Piggy Pens on Instagram and YouTube. We did this Elven Home. And for this page, I knew I wanted to involve purple in some sense, but still have that autumnal look. So I searched up, I think, Purple Autumn colour palette, and saw this one come up with this purple, orange, kind of yellowy brown, dark red and like a reddish brown, and went, okay, let's go for that. And there's something about this page I just don't like. It's kind of giving Halloween with the purple against the orange leaves. That's fine, I like that. I think it's this red house, I just don't like it. I think I would like this page a lot better if I'd kept it simpler and just done like the beigey colour for the house and then purple for the roof, or even done like the orangey brown instead to bring the orange down a little bit, because only the leaves are orange on this page. Should have brought them down on the clothes or something. I added lots of gold stars in the background with the gold signo because I needed something to cheer me up. So I added a bunch of stars. But yeah, glad to get my first page coloured in this book, and I thank Jo for colouring with me. Let me move mine across and show you hers here. She did an amazing job. She really captured that autumnal feel to the page with that gorgeous orangey sunset. Yeah, absolutely love how hers turned out. Mine, I'm so, but glad to have a page done. So that is Night Garden by RJ Hampson. Then I have Mina Ricer Dirt Europa by Rita Berman, and this was a buddy colour with Han at Han's Colours. She reached out to me about organising a buddy colour, and it had been so long since I'd coloured in this book, over a year. And we did this flower envelope, and I loved colouring this. It took me just a couple of hours to do. It was really nice and simple and lots of fun. Hardest part was picking a colour palette, but you can see here I've got my colours saved because I used one from this book. I was having a look through the Practical Colour Combinations book and found this one because I knew I wanted purples and blues for the flowers, and I really liked this colour combination down here of the ivory purple, dark green, light green and blue. So I used this 5 colour combination, as you can see up there. Used Polychromos pencils for the whole thing, and then I added lots of the blue and violet metallic Signo gel pens for the details and for the wreath surrounding it. And then I also used a couple of the Harmonious Castle Arts pencils for this page for the background. I tried to give it a kind of faded bokeh look. I did erase some circles, but you can't really see it, and in the picture it just didn't pick up, but it's a little subtle background. I can see it. And it was just the kind of little bit of colour that it needed for this kind of framed off image. Let me move mine across and show you Jo's here. Not Jo, Han's here. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong name. She did an amazing job. She used lots of fun, bright colours, which I absolutely love. And yeah, it's great to get back to this book. It'd been way too long, so thank you to Hannah, or Han. That was Mina Ricer Dirt Europa by Rita Berman. And the final buddy colour and colouring book proper I have to share with you is Jewellery Box by Hannah Carlson. Again, this was an untouched book, and I did the Book Belongs To page, and this was a buddy colour with 2 people, Morella at Mistral Amets and Binks at Binks's Colouring, and we decided to do this page together. And gosh, I loved colouring this. I knew when I saw it I wanted purple peacocks, because last month I'd done a bluey green peacock and I didn't want to do that again. I wanted it to be magical looking, and I really just kind of went to town with that purple colour scheme. I used Artex pencils for the whole thing, and it was really, really fun to colour. I've coloured a lot of this whilst watching the second series of Wednesday, so I feel like I'm going to remember that now when I look at the page. And then I finished it off with I started off with the Pentel Jewel Hybrid metallic, not that one, I can't find it now. It was the metallic purple and blue, but it was looking too blue, so I went over the top of it with a purple Chromatech gel pen, and that kind of dulled down the blue a bit, although it is still kind of shining blue quite a lot. but it was just looking a bit too bright blue. I used the silver Pentel for the stars and outlined them with the violet Signo gel pen. So that was cute. Oh, I've left my bit of blue tack in here. So I tend to put a bit of blue tack in the corner of my books when I go to photograph them, because often the corner kind of lifts up, and unfortunately this was near the bottom of the stack, so it's kind of been compressed down onto the page. So that's coming off fine. There we go. But yeah, you can see the corner kind of lifts up, so I just stick it down with a bit of blue tack and I take my pictures to send to my buddies. But yeah, love the sparkly effects around the page. Love the purples and blues and pinks I used. It was a lot of fun. Let me move mine across and show you Binks's and Morella's here. They both went for quite similar colour palettes. I think they said they followed a YouTube tutorial and ended up following the same one. But they did an amazing job. And thank you to you both for getting me started in this gorgeous colouring book. It's great to finally have some colour in Jewellery Box by Hannah Carlson. Then the final stack of books I have to share with you are all of my colour by numbers for the month. Starting off, I have the Scooby-Doo colour by number. And I will say at the start, I use a black acrylic paint pen to do all of the outlining for all of these pages, and then shade mainly with the Crayola Super Tips. I may use a Tombow Dual brush pen or the Ohuhu ones every now and then, but mainly the Crayola Super Tips. So I did this one with Shaggy. I really like these. They're nice and bold and very colourful, which is lots of fun. Did this one with Scooby in a car. Beep beep. And then I did the outlining of this and never finished it, but that was the next one. I'm just going through in order in this book, because why not? So that's the Scooby-Doo colour by number. Then I have Princesses Tome 2, and this was the first one I coloured in this page. I couldn't decide what to colour, so I had my dad pick one for me, and he picked Merida, and I just coloured a lot of Merida pages recently. I was kind of sick of her, and now after doing this I'm like, no more Merida for the foreseeable future. But yeah, love how this turned out. Great to get a double page spread done in here. And I've got another one started. This one with Snow White. I did the black outlining, and I'm seeing how long it takes me to do the colours, as I did this whilst watching Strictly. As you can see, not much done because I spend most of the time watching the telly. But yeah, I'm going to see how many weeks of watching Strictly it takes me to colour this page. If you don't know, Strictly Come Dancing. It's a celebrity dancing competition, like Dancing with the Stars in the US. So that's Princesses Tome 2. Then I have Vitro, the first tome, and I was kind of going through in order this month of going through all the pages where I'd coloured one side but not the other. So I did this one of Rapunzel's family. I loved the stained glass background on this one, lots of fun colours. I did this one of Lady and the Tramp, as I did that one last month. And I did the Emperor. It's great seeing them all together, and I've actually got a nice chunk at the start here, all coloured next to each other. Then I did Piglet, who was the next one to colour, that I'd only done one half of the page. And then I think the next one I have to do is, yeah, this Robin Hood one. So when I feel like it, I will pick that book up and colour that one next. So that's Vitro. And I have Vitro Tome 2, and this was coloured for my Disney group buddy colour. And one of the films for the month was WALL-E, and I managed to get these 2 pages done. It was a lot of fun. I love colouring in this book. It's just so satisfying colouring in these nice bold shapes. So did both of those, and that was it from this book for this month, Vitro Tome 2. And then the last few I have to share with you were coloured for character prompts. I joined Paulina and Fungus Loves to Colour on Instagram. They pick 3 different characters a month and find a colour by number for that page. and I just thought, perfect, it gives me something to hunt for when I'm doing my colour by numbers. So one of them was Zeus, so I did this one of Hades and Zeus. Not Zeus, it was Hades. That's Zeus, that's Hades. So I did that one from Family. And then I did Petty Princesses, and I did Snow White. That one was fun to do. Nice level of detail. And then the last character prompt was the Evil Queen from Snow White, specifically in her hag form. So I did this page. And as I did that one, I thought I'd do this one as well. And I was doing the same thing as I did in Vitro, going through and colouring the odd page where I'd only coloured one half. And so I did Anton Ego, as I'd already coloured this one. So I think there's only 1 or 2 pages where I've only coloured one of them, not both, left in the book. Yeah, like this Mickey one. And then I think there's another one, I can't remember what though. But there we go. That is everything I coloured for the month of September. My voice is hurting me right now. I've been coughing off camera in between books. But do let me know in the comments below, what was your favourite page that I coloured this last month? I would love to hear from you all. Thanks to all my buddies for the month, and thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.